I've never actually made a declutter video before because what I tend to do if I don't like a perfume is I'll just put it up on eBay when I get around to it. And I'll kind of just sporadically put things up. So sometimes they sell really quickly and they'll just go. And other times I'll sort of hang on to them just because I haven't had time. So I've literally just put a whole bunch up on eBay and I figured I might as well do a little declutter video because these are all things that have been reviewed on my channel in one way or another, whether it be in what I wore last week or like a specific haul or something. But I'm sure there's lots of people who watch declutter videos who won't have seen any of those, so I figured it was worth just doing one of these. So the first thing I'm getting rid of is this absolute beastly monstrous huge bottle. This is Amir Al Oud. This is Intense Oud by Lattafa. Eau de Parfum is 100ml. This is an absolute bargain as perfume. It's really popular to the point where when I actually did a video about this as a blind buy fail, I got some really weird comments on it because people really took it personally that I said I can't wear this, even though I said I think if you don't perceive synthetic woods in the same way that I do, this is probably very nice. But anyway, people are really salty about this. So please don't get salty about it. It's just not for me. This is Amir Al Oud Intense Oud, and it has it has the type of synthetic wood in it that is in like the Zara perfumes, and as it turns out, as far as I can tell, in nearly all of the Lattafa perfumes, which just smells like coal tar to me. It literally smells like creosote. So it's not something I can wear. I can get a kind of sense for the kind of sweet caramelly vibe of this underneath a little bit, but I can't wear it. This one's unisex, but because I hate that tar smell so much, I also wouldn't give this to my husband because I would hate to smell this on him. I just don't like it. So that's, I think it was only something like £15, but I know it's really popular, so that one's gone up on eBay. Let's see. This one, I always said I was gonna get rid of this one. This is Curious by Britney Spears. It's massive, this box. I absolutely love this bottle, but I just can't wear this particular floral, even though this is actually one that I like and I wish I could wear. It's quite magnolia heavy. Gosh, that's a loud box as well. It's quite magnolia heavy, but it's too much jasmine for me. But it's so pretty. The more it dries down, the prettier this one is. I love the bottle. As you can see, it matches my room. So I absolutely love this bottle. I think it's beautiful. I like the smell. I think I'd love it on anyone else, but on me, it gave me a headache. And I sort of kept smelling it, even though it was giving me a headache. But I think Curious is one of her most kind of grown up and kind of prettiest perfumes because it's just purely floral to me. There are fruits in it. I think there's pear, which is the thing that comes through the most, but it's mainly floral. But yeah, so I can't actually wear that one. So that one's going as well. Let's see, what's next? Yes. So this is Versace Crystal Noir, and this is Eau de Toilette. I think this is, I looked at the batch code and this is 2022. I'm only getting rid of this because I have the Eau de Parfum and I much prefer that. This is a 50ml. I have a 30ml of the Eau de Parfum. Firstly, the 30mls are much nicer bottles because they've got a cap that isn't like considerably bigger than the actual bottle. And I think that's very silly. It's very, very dark. Let me just see if I can try and make this a little bit brighter. So yeah, they're in the dry down, I think they smell quite similar. But what I find with Crystal Noir is that weirdly, I had a sample of the old EDT, the one that's got fig in it. And I loved it. I thought it was delicious. The carded sample has the notes on and it has fig listed. I think it's absolutely lovely. But unfortunately, when I actually got the Eau de Toilette, it doesn't really smell like that, whereas the new version of the Eau de Parfum does smell like that, even though it's got different notes. I find it very confusing, but when I was actually wearing it, I love the Eau de Parfum, and I don't love this one as much, so there's no point in me having both. This one in my original review, I said this one, because it doesn't seem quite as strong, I think would be better if you get headaches. But actually, this one gave me more of a headache when I tried to wear it than the Eau de Parfum. Now, this is the, I think, 2021 maybe, and my Eau de Parfum, I think, is 2022 or vice versa. I can't remember. But they're both the current formulation, I believe. And I love the Eau de Parfum. I was so digging myself the last time I wore that, so I don't need to keep this one. It would be a waste of time. All right. Okay. This guy. Dolce Garden. So, lots of people really love this perfume. And I don't know, I just couldn't get along with it. There's something in this. I probably am going to blame the neroli, because I think sometimes neroli... Is it neroli or orange blossom? Either way, sometimes I find it super sickly when it's in sweet things. Yeah, so I do get a bit of coconut, but I almost think that this smells like sugar, orange blossomy style, neroli style flowers, and coconut yogurt with a ton of powder. I just find something about it sour mixed with the sweet, as if it is an actual yogurt, and that's just not something that I can deal with. I found it really sickly, and it's just a bit too floral for how sickly I find it. But what I do have, and I absolutely love, that gives me a kind of feel for it, is actually Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely Lights. Now, that doesn't have coconut in it, but it's like a really creamy floral, and it's sweet and it's slightly powdery, but it's more kind of creamy. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it's like, it's so easy to wear. I absolutely love that perfume. Whereas this one I just found sickly. It just didn't work for me. But I know loads of people love this. It's such a pretty colour. I mean, it's very plasticky top, so I'm not really that bothered about the Dolce bottles, to be honest, but there's something really charming about this kind of blush pink. I'm not sure it really smells like blush pink though. Yeah, I just couldn't get along with it. And I have a few other perfumes that have a coconutty vibe. I also have Far Away by Avon, and that to me is a very warm floral that has coconut in it, and that's another thing that kind of gives me the vibe I wanted to get from Garden, so don't need that one. Alright, I'm going to do a bunch of Hugo Bosses. Hugo Boss Deep Red. If you watch lots of people on YouTube talking about perfumes, you've probably seen this one a number of times being described as like evening and sexy, and it's just so sexy, it's so lovely, a perfect winter perfume. And I got this, and it is so light that I would never wear this in winter. I also think it's super woody, and it's a wood that smells of, I think I thought it was pencil shaving-y. I mean, I genuinely cannot smell this from the nozzle at all. Like it smells of nothing. Hang on, let me just... oh dear. Okay, so you've got blood orange, definitely. It's very watery. It smells like more like one of my kind of eau de colognes, if that makes sense. Like it's like one of my Aqua Colonia's eau de colognes level of kind of oranginess. It's just so light. And then I get a lot of wood. Yeah, definitely got a bit of a pencil shaving-y kind of wood going on in this to my nose, which I can't get on with, or at least on my skin it goes like that, you know? Yeah, and then you in the very deep dry down you get vanilla, but it's just such a subtle perfume. Like, and I did try this in winter. That's when I got it. I would say this would be way better in summer, but because of the kind of woodiness that I don't enjoy, I'm not going to be able to wear it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, but it's not... I don't know, I would never describe this as sexy. I think it's just like a super easy... I would say this is like a super easy office perfume for warm weather. That's how I describe this. And no one else on YouTube describes it in that way. So yeah, I'm just going to pass this on because I'm never going to wear this one. It's perfectly nice, but I don't find it very special really for like how much everyone always talks about it. It's a weird one. You have another sniff. Yeah, the wood just doesn't work on my skin on that one. Okay. So we have got 2 more Hugo Boss perfumes. So this is the Scent for Her Private Accord. I have 4 Hugo Boss perfumes from the Private Accord, from the Scent for Her range. The first one I got was the Intent. Well, actually, the first ones I got the original and the Private Accord and the Intense in samples, and the one I liked by far the most was the Intense, which is the one that smells like tinned peaches kind of sprinkled with cocoa powder, and that's really pretty, that perfume. I'm really fussy about peach, but I think they've nailed it in these particular perfumes. But I really liked the chocolate orange vibe of the Scent for Her Private Accord. So when I saw it for a steal on, I think it was Debenhams randomly, I just bought it. I wore it at Christmas because I like the idea of like a chocolate orange perfume at Christmas, and it's so pretty, but the chocolate orange vibe doesn't necessarily last very long before it turns into what is effectively a vanilla perfume to me. And I don't really like the type of vanilla that's in the Hugo Boss Scent for Her range. They're just not really... It's just not my kind of vanilla. I'm really fussy about vanilla. I like a custardy vanilla. And this is more of a perfumey vanilla, so I just can't get along with it. And because that's the main thing that stayed on my skin when I wore this in December, I just found it a bit cloying and a bit difficult, and I didn't really want to continue. I didn't want to respray it. I didn't want to continue wearing it. So the first like 10 minutes, beautiful, but after that I just couldn't get along with it, which is a shame. But I've got a perfume oil. I think it's called Crown Perfumes, and it's called Crown Perfumes and Soaps or something like that. They have a spiced orange that randomly to me smells like chocolate orange. So I have got one of those. I haven't done a review yet of that range, but I've got a few of those, so I'll talk about them when I get a chance. And then the last Hugo Boss I'm decluttering is the Scent Absolute. So this one I was really excited about because I don't like patchouli, and I can't get along because of that with any of the Black Opium range because they are so heavy in patchouli. But I still wanted like a nice coffee scent. And this one has great notes in it. It doesn't have patchouli, but the coffee is right up the top in the votes on Fragrantica. So it's a sweet coffee perfume, and that's exactly what it is. But I have the same problem again. There's so much vanilla in this one that I just start to find it sickly, because it's that vanilla that I don't like. And it's a real shame. Because honestly, if you also don't like Black Opium because you don't like patchouli, my goodness, if you're not sensitive in the way that I am to certain types of vanilla, this is glorious. This is a brilliant, brilliant coffee perfume. It's really a lovely black coffee sweetened with vanilla. That's what it smells like. There is not much going on apart from that. I mean, I think this one's got chocolate in as well, but I think it just makes the coffee richer and sweeter. I love this bottle. I love how dark that bottle is, and I love this kind of really deep metallic bronze kind of colour on the lid. I really like it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to wear this again because I wore this one to work. It made me feel a bit sick. It's just that vanilla again. It's just the vanilla. If it had a custardy vanilla in these, I would have the whole range, except for is it Le Parfum has patchouli in it? I probably wouldn't bother with that one. Last two. Okay. So this is a tiny little mini bottle of Guess Seductive Noir. I love Guess Seductive Red. I haven't bothered with the original Seductive because I think that's basically a dupe of something I don't like. I can't remember what it is now. But I think it's a jasmine-y perfume, and I don't really like jasmine. If you're watching this going, she doesn't like anything, that's why my channel is called Skin Sense for Fuss Pots, because I am fussy. So Guess Seductive Noir, just a tiny little 15ml, super cute. I got this one when lots of people on my channel had said, oh, you should try this. And I was like, yeah, if I see it for a good price, I'll get a little one and I'll smell it. It's lovely. It really is lovely. And I know it's supposed to smell like Mongolon, but I have an Oriflame perfume from the Feel Good range called Chill Out. And the only notes listed in that are lavender, cedar and vanilla. And it just smells almost exactly like this. So I'm assuming it also therefore smells very much like Mongolon. That one's a unisex one. I think this one smells really unisex as well. This one lists sage, but it's still it smells like lavender. It definitely smells like lavender in the herbal form of lavender. It's super pretty. It's really nice, but I don't need it. And I know that lots of people really love this, and it's a perfect little handbag size one. So I thought I might as well declutter that and pass it on to someone else. These are obviously all quite affordable. None of these are particularly expensive, because I don't really do expensive perfumes. So last declutter that's up on eBay at the moment is Jimmy Choo Floral. It's an eau de toilette, and I got this one because it's been compared to La Belle's de Ricci Liberty Fizz, which is my old signature scent. I wore that for like 16 years. I started wearing it when I was about 16, and then they discontinued it and broke my heart. Now, there are a few things about this perfume that are a little bit similar to that, but to be honest, it doesn't really smell like La Belle's de Ricci at all. Like it doesn't have that same overall scent. It's also way sharper. But it's called floral. It's actually very fruity when you first spray it, but it's got very, very noticeable florals in this. And the reason that I can't really wear it is partly because it's so sharp. I think it's nectarine. And when I described this when I first got it, it smells like an unripe nectarine. It's got no sweetness in this perfume, so it is perfect for people who like floral fruity perfumes but do not like anything that's too sweet or sugary. They don't like vanilla. It's quite stripped back. It's like white flowers and sharp fruit, but it also has ambroxan in it. So even though there are elements about this that I enjoy, it doesn't work on my skin because I can't really wear ambroxan. Ambroxan just doesn't smell nice on me. It's just everything gets very screechy. It's weird. So this particular perfume, I think it's just best to pass on to someone else, because I know people really like the Jimmy Choo perfumes. And yeah, I just couldn't really get along with this one. I can't really remember what the florals are, and I kind of... Is there like magnolia or something in this? Maybe it's got a kind of lily of the valley white winey kind of smell to it, but like with a lot of sharp nectarine, very unripe nectarine. But it is super pretty. If that works on your skin, it would be so great in like warmer weather or like springtime, because there's something very bright, zesty and nice about it. But yeah, it just doesn't work on me. Me and ambroxan don't mix. So yeah, so that's my little declutter. I've got lots of things that have just gone up on eBay. So there you have it. That's my declutter. I get rid of stuff all the time, to be honest. I normally just say what I'm getting rid of in my actual videos. I'll just say if I wear something and I don't like it, and that will normally go straight onto eBay or go into a box until I can find time. But yeah, if you guys who watch my channel enjoyed this and you'd like to see more declutters, then I'm happy to do that when I have my next kind of batch that I'm putting up on eBay. Until then, I hope everyone is extremely well and smells absolutely delicious.